Hello, everybody. Today is Sunday, January 25th, and this is my 55th video. Is that right? Yes, it's right. Well, what have I been up to? Apparently, I missed yesterday. You know, when you're retired and they say, you'll see you Sunday. Yeah, I'll see you Sunday. And then it's like Monday. It's like, oh, I'm sorry. I got my days mixed up. So that kind of what happened to me yesterday. So today I'm going to tell you my drama from this quilt right here. It is the Beyond the Cube, and it is a class I'm taking at my local stitch quilt shop. This is it. I'm working just on this center part right here. Now this quilt is going to be 96 by 96, so it's gonna be a biggie. So I was cutting along and stitching and sewing, and I was sewing my borders here on. I got them all nice and stitched on, nice and straight and even. And then I went to go and, you do your final little, starchy, ironing, pressing thing. And the borders just went, ooh. And it was like, why is it doing that? Because it hasn't happened to any of this other fabric. Now, I did starch all the fabrics, but it just went like 1/8 of an inch off. This right here is the fabric I used. Now, this is a 2.5 inch block. And this one I starched after, and this is slightly starched. It's not heavily starched. This one is now heavily starched. So when I put the border on, it all went 1/8 of an inch on all four. So that's like 1/4 of an inch. And I got to be able to sew this and have 1/4 of an inch on the sides. So I freaked out. I had to pull all this off right here. And then I got my fabric and I starched the first part of it. Because when I started this class, I asked, do you have to starch your fabric? No, you don't have to starch fabric. Apparently, it depends on what kind of fabric you use. Yes, I will always heavily starch my fabric now. But the fabric I used, I'm sure it's not their fault or whatever. It's mine because I didn't heavily starch before I started. It was the Prism 2 by Jason Yenter from the Beginning Fabrics. I have starched both sides of everything, and it turned out perfect. Thank the Lord. Well, I put the borders on, and then I put some more borders on, and I got 1, 2, about 5, 6 more borders to do. But it's going well. I'm enjoying using the Accuquilt, and getting everything cut nice and precisely. As long as it stays the way it is, I'm gonna have to buy some more fabric starch. No, actually, I got all kinds. Okay, so that was my dilemma for this quilt so far. I have not done anything on my, what is it called? I always forget what it's called. Alaska Magic this week. I kind of put that aside after I had that angry sew and then fixed it. That's this week. I'll go back to it this week after I put this last border on here. And then I'll go on. I'm going to go on. Okay, so I already told you that my local quilt shop in Chico, California is the Honey Bun. It's Kathy's sew and vacuum cleaner place, something like that. But it's the actual part of the quilty fabric is called the Honey Bun. So me and my son went out and about. And he said, Mom, let me take you to a new quilt shop to see what you can see. I said, okay, let's go do that. So we went out, and it is called Pieces of Love Quilt Shop, and it is in, where's it at? Orville, California. They actually have a retreat center there too. I haven't seen that, haven't done any of that. You know, me and retreats, me going places, it's not gonna happen. But that's their little cute little, and this is the information if you want to see it. I have no idea if they do online orders. I know that they do quilting and stuff like that. So there's that. It's a cute little place. I mean, it's a little place, but I can handle little better than the big ones. They have a really cute shop, and they have 1930s, I think it's 30s fabric. You know, it's kind of ugly. It's beautiful, ugly fabric, and I need that for the what is it called? Hexagon quilt that I'm doing, because it's not easy to find ugly fabric, believe it or not. Now that's depending on the person that's buying it too. They might look at that and say, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. I'll be going, yeah. But anyway, moving on. So that was my stress point this last week. Well, other than phone calls again, because, you know, I called and told them, yeah, I'm going to make that appointment. And they asked me what kind of insurance I had. And I told them, we canceled using that insurance. So you cannot see any of your doctors here. And I said, hey, wait a minute. So they got me in touch with somebody that works there that says, why don't you just go on regular Medicaid and then get a prescription plan? Done. It's done. If it has to change again, I don't know what I'm going to do. But I changed it all. Hopefully this goes through. But my pharmacy takes the prescription plan. The doctors take my insurance plan. So I'm hoping everything's okay. But what I did get a little stash at that beautiful Loves and Pieces of Love shop. This is for my son's quilt. I did have fabric for him. And then I went to go shopping for a little more just to make sure, and they did not have it. And it is basic fabrics. But, you know, I guess, you know, dye lot to dye lot, things change. So I got my little pieces of that fabric. Do I have them here? I don't have them here. I don't know where they went. Anyway. So I got the little pieces, and I'm putting against the fabrics and stuff, and me and my son are, so that one's closer than that one. This one looked good. So this is what I come up with for my son's quilt. I got plenty of it. Hopefully and I asked her, is this a basic? Is this a basic fabric? She goes, yes. She keeps ordering it. So she better keep ordering it. And because I'll go back up there and get more. I will. Watch me. Dare me. Anyway, so that's one thing I was doing, right? So I got that. Beyond the Quilt. Cute little Pieces of Love quilt shop that I absolutely love. And it's funny because, you know how I was going to those classes and quit? Because, you know, it's too hard to lug things. Too hard for my body to lug things and then want to do something when I'm there. My teacher worked there, which I knew she worked there, but I was kind of hoping she was off because, you know, you don't want to come up against somebody and say, oh, where have you been? Well, I talked to her and everything, and I'm thinking, oh, goodness, good, she don't recognize me. And then when I bring the fabric up to the counter for her to cut, she goes, you know, you look real familiar. I said, oh, man. And I told her who I was. And she's like, oh, we got to come. It's like, well, you know, I know what I got to do and what I don't. But she's a really funny person. And I really enjoyed her. But I'm not going. Maybe the last class, because that's at the end of February. And hopefully I'll have that all pieced together and I could go show it. I don't have to bring my sewing machine or anything. Just me and a quilt. I can do that. And I might do a little shopping while I'm there. No! We'll see. Anyway, so that's that. I did do some cutting for the secret sew that I'm doing. I guess it's really not secret other than who they're going to. But this is the Accuquilt helping me out again. So it is from the cube sets. I got 4 of them, all 8-inch. I like the 8-inch. It's a good size. I'm going on. Okay, so the 8-inch. And I am going to be doing, and all the dies come with these, so it kind of gets you to how many you got to cut and all that kind of stuff. This is basically what I'm going for, is right here. It's going to be, where's my paper? Oh, don't lose the paper. It's going to end up 96 by 96. Yes, it's going to be a big one. It's going to be a big 2. So I have to cut out, it's going to be 12 blocks down, 12 blocks across. That'll end up being 96 by 96. So I have to cut 72 light blocks and 72 dark blocks. Well, the fabric that I got, as you've seen before, is this fabric. Let me make it pretty. Let me make it pretty. Let me make it pretty. It's here. These are the 3 colors that I'm going for, right? And I am making this block. It's going to be all made out of this block here. So, I cut some out to see what it's going to look like. And let me show you. First off, I got some blocks and I just colored them in because I was wondering, how am I going to do this? So basically, this was my strategy, my strategizing of the quiltages. So this is my strategy, right? Looks pretty good. So I cut them out. This is going to be considered the dark block. This is going to be considered the light block. But you know, I have a problem. I'm not liking it because this block right here is too close. I mean, it's different. See, you can see. Let's see. Can you see? Can you see? It's a little darker, but it doesn't have the contrast that I'm looking for, right? I'm thinking, oh man, I don't want to buy more fabric. I already bought like 3,000 yards of this, you know? It's just don't have the contrast. So I said, okay, Misty, all right, let's see if this works. Oh, I'm making it better. I'm making it better right now. So I figure I'm going to go this way. I like it so much better. So much better. Let me make sure it stays on there. So it's going to be this block and this block. Now, the contrast of those 2 greens is not that great. I don't care. Me not caring. It's just going to be a lot of just the light and the darkage. Darkage and the lightage. And I'm going to go, you know, either light, dark, you know, 12 around, and then light, dark, 12 down. I'm not going to do a dark, light row and then a dark row like it has it in a thing. It's just going to be all, So that's what I'm doing. I done cut out enough. I think there's enough for 16 blocks right there. So I'm halfway there, right? No. Because I have to make 144, I think, of them. 7 and 7 is 14, and 2 and 2 is 4. So that's 102, no, 184. Yeah, 184. Now see, this is what you're dealing with. So, you know, I might have extra or I might not have enough and I'll have to make more. Anyway, so that's what I got on my Go Cube for the secret, not so secret, quilt that I'll be doing on there. Yeah, I think that's basically it for this time. Let's see, I got this and that and this, and I didn't get nothing to eat because I had to hurry and do this video today because I forgot it yesterday. And I'm just drinking me some pop. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. That's it for today. Thank you for stopping by and checking on me or visiting me or whatever you're doing with me. I appreciate everybody that comes. And I don't know what else to say. Have a great week. Everybody stay safe out there because terrible storms. And it's kind of gloomy here. But I'm in California, so it's going to bypass me. I hope. So see you all later. Bye.